my lawyer's office today. And first off, I'm already stressed from that. They're like, oh, it's going to take us so many hours if we really want to win this thing. We're going to need texts. We're going to have to see your emails, all this stuff. They're saying that the employer always wins this kind of case unless there's just this abundance of evidence. And I haven't eaten anything at this point either. I'm totally starving. But you won't believe who I ran into today. So do you remember that economics professor we had together? Professor Baklovi? Well, she was coming out of some other office and then got into the same elevator as me, just breathing all over me. Somehow she recognizes me. Of course, I don't want to talk to her, but she's like, oh, what are you doing here? And I don't want to talk about my case with her, so I lie. And I say, oh, an estate case. You know, something relatively common and easy to brush off, you know. Plus, no sane person wants to ask about that sort of thing anyway. But of course, Katrina Baklovi wants to know who died and how. Not offering condolences, by the way, just blatantly wanting to gossip about this hypothetical tragedy. So me, thinking that there's no way she would know, I lie and I say, oh, my mom died. You know, not thinking, oh, that's right, I'm at my lawyer's office. My lawyer's a good friend of my mother's. Didn't think that would matter, so anyway, I was like, I'd rather not talk about it. But she goes on to say, well, how did she die? Maybe you have bad stock. Are her parents still alive? This elevator ride is taking forever, but I managed to cut in and just say, well, what are you here for? But she must not want to tell me either, because she hardly misses a beat and says, does this change how you think about your own death? And I'm like, I don't know, that's a big question. And then there's this pause, like she's waiting for me to keep going. And then she starts right up again with, is this a death that shatters your daily life and what you know of what it is to exist in this world, or just a loss of someone you feel tied to? So me, realizing there's no way I'm gonna get out of this conversation with silence, I shoot right back with, well, what office are you visiting? She says Paradise Corporation or something like that. Do you cry when you think about her, or only when it comes up? And I'm like, whoa, what do they do? And she says, are you haunted more by the suddenness or the inevitability? And it's just this absurd back and forth. She's so quick, I'm practically believing